Yeah, Glaglia Plan. Yeah, they're making clothes. I talked about a little while ago, which they probably thought was pretty cool, when they were asking about my crystal necklaces and what I put in it. Because if you're a fancy place, that's what you would ask to go. Just go make it, right? And at that time, I talked about crystals and clothes. How you can make closed crystals. You know, they've always done that. But you can make them more often. People might get into it. Definitely, if you can get someone to get into it, right? Someone that's people will look up to or something like that, you know? Not just a model. It might be something that needs more than a model, you know? Right? That creates the fashion of wanting to wear more of crystals and things with crystals. Right? You can try to do that with the YouTube bullshit about energy and talk a lot of cockle, lockle, lockle, dockle, and try to make it look cool. It can work. As long as it's cool, it's cool. Right? But how long will it work for? Right? If you want things to last, you give it a real reason why it should last. Right? But anyway, t-shirts anyone can do. You can do your homemade one. A brand can do a brand one if they want. Knock themselves out with crystals. It's a thing you can't really copyright. You can copyright a design, right? And art people can do designs at any time, right? But anyway, have a good one, everybody. If you want to know about coincidences, we got the bike people out there today. It always lines up with something. People go, I like to chuck in something that's a bit mystery. What do they mean by that? Could be anything. Or come and ask me. Good way of connection, eh? Other than that, you don't worry about it. Your phone went a little bit sideways there, giving it a little looking at someone and talking to someone, trying to distract you. And as I look, how do they know? How would they know when I look up and if I'm looking at people in the room? How would they know that I'm going to look at the camera system as it's just over there in the office, right? How do they know? I decide to look at that for a second. It's easier than the sideways TV. How would they know? And then they do something, which is what I've talked about in a lot of cases. What I've talked about happens a lot, right, of what I video, right? So if someone would put cameras in your house and then put YouTube videos, because like I said, when you got to explain something, you want to figure out something, you got to have, can you do it, right? How could you come up with an answer? And is it possible? Because otherwise, don't worry about it. And when it comes to people setting up things, it's like a little bit like the Truman Show, right? Enough people, enough money, you can do anything, right? You can fool the whole dude in the whole town, right? The Truman Show shows you that, and we've got the abilities to do it. We show it with the show, right? You just got to start from the bottom, right? But when it comes to predators that want to steal people's information, a little bit like how I was talking about with the AIs and stuff like that, and they're thieves, and they could be thieves of all things, they would put cameras in your house, right, to blackmail, to find out information. It's like thieving out of your letterbox. So the government needs to, and we're in that age, we have been now, and it's very cheap and easy to do these things. So you'll have a lot of thieves that just buy things and do things and shouldn't be really doing things, and will probably get caught. So this is what you're about to have more often, as I've heard these stories before, right? Including the people that are speaking about check your house for cameras, and here's a device. They know about these people that are talking, but how would you get such a scene of what they're talking about? Right, to make people go loopy and to find out information from them, to take over their lives. Well, what you do is you put little cameras in their house, right, or go through their phones or certain ways, and then as soon as you know they're going to look, or you have a psychic. If you have a psychic in this plan, it makes feed even better. So psychics out there, look out, because you might have some police when they come to do this, because you'll be the top on the list of these type of things that can be happening, right? And you get a psychic, and you get them to talk about things watching these cameras, and the psychic watches cameras, because it makes them a better psychic to understand what they're trying to say as well. If you wanted to have it into the future, a little bit like what I was talking about with making sense of readings. This is how you can make sense of readings and make readings and stuff like that, and not be real, and make it look real. Right? Movie if you want, right? And you get them to talk on the internet. You have a laugh. You don't comment to them because they're the test. So in this thing, you don't comment, right? And you do all these things, and you hope they go crazy. A little bit like listen to what they say. Right? And I'm telling you a movie about it. Imagine that. But guess what? You could do it in real life. And to get away with it, you'd have to have police involved with it, a judge involved with it, as well as they all play to make this facade. And they're all connected. Not all of them are watching, but they've got the watchers to tell what's going on. They're all part of their sector, right? Like the Truman Show, right? And guess what? What have I been saying, Emma? Sometimes I feel like I'm in the Truman Show, but in a different way. Isn't that right? And that's what happens to you when you lose your freedom. You might feel that way, or it could be true. It depends on what you're going through and the things you can mention. But the more things you can mention and more things you got to mention, the more likely, and if it's that outcome, that they're all part of it. Right? So you got to find somewhere. Like I was talking about with that 2-factor. The crystal's just here. I'm about to do the next one in a minute. About if you want to know where it happened here, you follow back why all factories should have cameras and package areas should have cameras. You want to get rid of terrorism? There you go, where things should be packed, otherwise they don't get received. Too easy, Tim. I know, isn't it? This is one of millions of things I can easily do when I rock up and actually go talk to companies and go, I'm here, I've heard your theory. Hey, guess what? I might even give you something else too. Because you know what? I'm pretty fucking cool, right? And I'm not going to only just help you. It might help everyone. I hear you got issues, so I'm going to show you and everybody how we can fix these. Right? Of course, we can make money. Perhaps if you like me enough, you can send me a gift after I'm out of politics. That's where I am, right? And you can send it and tell your truth exactly how you are to them about why you sent it. Don't send it to try to suckle up to me because otherwise it'll backfire, right? And so on. Other than that, see you later. Have a good one and good luck to you, right? That's what you'd want to see from certain leaders in certain areas, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. And like we do, we chase back things to get answers. Without that chase back, you have a lost system. Without the allow to chase back and to see things in proper areas and the proper people in those areas, you'll have a lost system, right? Or a controlled system. Right? And they're all laughing at now, Kim Jong-un, they laugh at us because they go, oh, we get better, well, China, we're better, and the world's talking about how good we're doing. And guess what? We didn't need all these people's opinions. In fact, we got this train system and this and that faster because we have one leader. Just hopefully we keep our one leader good. Right? And they're showing that beaten having too many chefs because the too many chefs can't get along. That's a good system if they get along. Which is true, people, eh? But if it's not, it's actually a worse system than a system that is a dude that, yeah, he has all the women he wants and stuff like that. It's the king system, I call it, really. And we've had the king system most of our lives, which is, you know, if you want to go back on it, what we're doing is new, right? Which is why I was talking about these new problems that the government really needs to step up on, and they're worrying about trying to fix little things and getting tobacco people, and they can't even get the real top drugs and top of everything else, right? And they only get more of them. Well, where are we at? What does that mean in science? To me, that means it's going to get worse if you wanted to sciencely get an outcome, mathematical. It really does. Because they're only creating more problems than they are getting them created than they can solve and answer. Right? But have a good one and see you later.